Oh, there's one thing that I do need to fix. I forgot. Come over here when I was rinsing this AC off. Come over here and it's like, oh, I found the place I want to hang out and cool off. Woo! Yeah, that AC is working. 50-degree air blowing out of there. One screw. I wonder if their building's negative right now because they're blowing outside air out of the building.
This video is brought to you by Sporlan. Quality, integrity, and tradition.
Got a customer complaint of a kitchen AC not working, so I walk up to it. Condenser's running, or condenser fan motors are running, but I can see in there that it's very dirty. So I suspect that if we come over here, that we're gonna find a high pressure safety of some sort. Let's see. So it is cooling, Y1 and Y2, and we have an error code 15. So if we go to main menu, data, history, alarms, looks like alarm 15, strike 3 on compressor number 2, high temperature, high pressure, S7. So yeah, we've got a high pressure code on this guy. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna shut this guy down, pull the hail guards off, clean the condenser, and then finish going through the unit. There's no sense in really doing much more until we get it cleaned. You have to be careful, but I lucked out in that the restaurant has hot water for me to be able to access to clean this condenser. So this does have a little grease on it, but I'm using ridiculously hot water. So it's gonna do a good job of washing the big bulk stuff off, and then we'll get some coil cleaner on there. Now this is a microchannel coil, so you gotta use the right coil cleaner. Gotta be careful about that, but I'm gonna go ahead and give the whole thing a rinse real quick. Get all the bulk of the big stuff off, inside and out. Look at that stuff coming down. That's just, and again, normally you don't get lucky with hot water, but they had hot water within reach. Just also gotta be careful you don't blow your hoses up too, because this is stupid hot. It's insane. This is like chocolate milk coming out of this thing. Yummy. But the hot water is doing great, man. I'm pushing stuff right through. I can see through the coil instantaneously. I'm still gonna put coil cleaner on it, but yeah. But again, I'm telling you, this is so hot. It's almost probably borderline too hot because I can't even hold the hose in my hand. So you gotta be very careful about that stuff. So what I do in these situations when you get into the really hot water and stuff is, like I had my wand on it a minute ago, I wouldn't turn the wand off, I wouldn't turn the hose off. Keep it running because it'll do somewhat okay when it's still running, but it's when you shut it off that it gets those high temps and you'll see it burst the hose. So just be really careful. I had a service technician many years ago, actually my mentor, one of the people that trained me. I think I've told this story before, but he was working in a restaurant using a pump sprayer. And he filled it up with hot water, and the pump sprayer ruptured as he was pumping it up, so it was high pressure and it blew out, and he was wearing blue jeans and he couldn't get the pants off fast enough. He was in the hospital that night, and I had to go pick up the on-call cell phone from him, and he was like on morphine and everything, and it really burnt him really bad on his inner thigh because he couldn't get his jeans off fast enough, and it was just containing the burn. Scary stuff. So hot water's no joke, especially in these restaurants. So be very careful. All right, Viper HD cleaner or the yellow Venom pack are both microchannel safe. It's from Refrigeration Technologies. This is my spiel. I say it all the time. If you use it in their foam gun, you'll get the proper mixtures. Their foam gun is specially tailored to this one. You can use this cleaner in another foam gun, but the concentration numbers are not going to be correct. Okay, so just something to think about. I'm going to get this stuff on there. The trick is to let it sit, and it's not going to hurt a single thing. When I go to rinse it, I'm actually just going to use the pressure because we have really good pressure and it does a good job of pushing everything through. So we're just rinsing it all out. We're going to do a couple rinses of the coil cleaner. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, it's coming out already pretty clean because I used the hot water before, but this just gets any extra grime that's built up inside of it. And also at the same time, while I'm doing this one, I went ahead and disassembled that one because that one was just as dirty. Pulled all the hail guards off, and I've got coil cleaner sitting on that one now too. All right, so the AC's been running for about 45 minutes, so it had plenty of time to stabilize out. I probed up on both compressors. It's a weird unit. It's a 92,000 BTUs or something like that. So my guess is that this replaced a train unit. When you see those weird units like an 8-ton, I bet you this used to be a train unit here years ago. So yeah, because it's a 92,000 BTU unit. So when we come over here, first stage, we're not looking bad at all. Superheat, the expansion valve's controlling everything pretty well. Subcooling's about where I'd expect it to be. Outdoor air temperature is about 100 degrees. I'm fine with that. Temperature split is about 20.5, 20.4. Something's funky with the airflow, but I'm not going to sweat. Oh, that's because I was on the first stage. Yeah, that's why. So that's the second stage now. Let's scroll over and see these vitals. Second stage is looking pretty darn good too. Superheat's moving around like it should. I don't see anything wrong with this unit other than it being dirty. So we're gonna go ahead and tell the customer to keep an eye on it and have us come out a little bit more often to clean the unit. I checked the belt, I blew out the drain. Air filters are fine. Everything else is good. Getting a good call. Always have a look at the contactors. Don't see anything crazy in here. Look okay. Transformers tapped correctly. Yeah, I'm not seeing any real problems with this unit. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my probes off. That's the other thing too. I wash the outside air filters. Don't forget those when you have a hose. Very important, especially for buildings that require outside air, minimum outside air. You gotta have those filters cleaned. But yep, all is well. I'm not gonna probe up on that guy because I just rinsed it off. They weren't complaining about it. I also rinsed off all their other ACs. Oh, there's one thing that I do need to fix. I forgot. Come over here. When I was rinsing this AC off, come over here and it's like, oh, I found the place I want to hang out and cool off. Woo! Yeah, that AC is working. 50-degree air blowing out of there. One screw. I wonder if their building's negative right now because they're blowing outside air out of the building. Just had to reposition some of the screws because they were stripped out, but got it on nice and good now. So they weren't even complaining about that one, but I found that when I was just walking around. Be observant on these buildings, you know what I mean? Know what I mean, Burn? All right, well, I'm gonna take all my tools off and wrap it up, and we will catch you on the next one, okay?
I can't stress enough, you need to make sure you're using the correct cleaners when you're working on the equipment we work on, whether it be an ice machine, whether it be condenser coils. Need to make sure you're using the right chemicals and the right cleaners, because if you don't, it can have adverse effects and cause problems, right? So if you use the wrong ice machine cleaner, you can damage the nickel plating on a particular brand of ice machine, right? Or if you have a stainless steel evaporator, they specifically say don't use nickel safe ice machine cleaner, right? So you want to make sure you're using the right kind of cleaners. When it comes to an AC, this has a micro channel condenser coil, so it's all aluminum. What most people don't know is that if you go get insert whatever brand, the blue cleaner, okay, the blue condenser coil cleaner, that is a very, very corrosive cleaner. Now, sometimes you have to do that, but what that cleaner does is it actually etches the coil. When you put the blue cleaner on there, the reason why it gets so shiny when it foams up is because it's eating the top layer of the aluminum off of that coil. It's literally disintegrating the coil. So constant use of that cleaner over and over and over again is going to reduce the amount of life that that condenser has in it. Now, sometimes you have to do what you have to do on a standard tube and fin condenser because maybe it's greasy, the customer doesn't do routine maintenance like in this video. Sometimes you have to use those cleaners. But it's always best to try to use the correct cleaners. Now, this is a all aluminum microchannel condenser. There's no copper tubes in there. So you have to use a certain type of cleaner that is aluminum and microchannel safe. Just go to their website, refrigetech.com, and you can find out all the different details about what cleaners are good for what. They have a pretty good website there. So check out their stuff. But you got to make sure that you're cleaning the equipment. And, you know, if you have your hose on the roof, just rinse everything else off. Of course, if the customer's okay with it. My particular customer's like, yeah, you're up there, just do it, right? So I rinsed off all the other condensers. There was one more that actually needed cleaner. The bar AC took care of that too. But we don't just stop there. We don't just like, oh, it's dirty, let's clean it and move on. I put my gauges on it. I went through the system, made sure the AC was working properly, and all was well after that, okay? I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. If you haven't already, please consider checking out my website, hvacrvideos.com. Merchandise available, hats, beanies, sweaters, all that good stuff. It's a great way to help support the channel. My wife ships out the merch, gives her something to do. I should say that, as if my wife doesn't have a million things already to do. She's married to me, and I'm lazy, so it gives her another thing to do. So maybe don't go to my website because you're making her do extra work. Wait, but that's kind of a weird... Yeah, anyways, I'm going off on a weird tangent. If you're interested in helping to support the channel in other means, the easiest way is simply just watch the videos from beginning to end. That really is the easiest way, okay? TrueTechTools.com. If you're interested in purchasing any tools, you definitely want to check out their website. I have an offer code that'll get you an 8% discount on majority of the items on their website. It's big picture, one word. So if you use that offer code, you get an 8% discount, like I said, on almost everything on their website. There's a few things it doesn't apply to. But when you use that offer code, not only do you get a discount, but I get a small commission from that sale. Great way to help support the channel. There's also links in the show notes for PayPal, Patreon, YouTube channel memberships. Last but not least, remember that I go live with my friends on the HVAC Overtime YouTube channel on Friday evenings about 6:05 p.m. Pacific. We just kind of recap the week. Just be careful because the HVAC Overtime show is a very uncensored show. And picture this. It's like 4 guys being at the bar for about 2 to 3 hours, having a couple beers, drinking, relaxing, and the conversation that ensues from that point, right? Sometimes it's HVAC, sometimes it's not HVAC whatsoever, okay? So definitely go check out the HVAC Overtime YouTube channel and consider checking out the show Friday evening, 6:05 p.m. Pacific. I also go live on this channel, if you don't already know. Monday evenings about 5 p.m. Pacific, work permitting, as long as I can get off work in time. I do a live stream where I answer questions and kind of consolidate the questions that I have in the YouTube comments and emails and different things. So definitely check out my show. That's on this channel on Monday evenings about 5 p.m. Pacific. Again, I really, really appreciate you all. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel, and we will catch you on the next one.